Hello and welcome back to the cesspool. And we have finally returned. First I just want to apologize for not being around for a good month and a half or month or however long it's been. I just want to apologize for that. This light that I use to beautifully light the ground, I left it at a friend's house, and quite frankly, just mix of being too lazy and just not having a good chance to get over there. So that's the main reason why I have not made another carpet video, or well, you know, these are the easiest videos for me to make, and I enjoy making them. So that's why I haven't really made another video. I have ideas of bigger things, but nothing has materialized yet. But I love making these little videos and just kind of complaining. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yes. Welcome back. And first, we're going to be complaining about the Nintendo 64 controller, right? The Nintendo 64 controller. Everybody's talked about this. We've talked about its stupid little stick, its dumb button layout, and all kinds of stupid stuff. A little button on the back, a little expansion pack slot, all that. We've talked about it. Everybody's talked about this thing. So why am I talking about it? Well, because I'm not even talking about this piece of garbage. I am talking about this. This is the SuperPad 64. Now, I am going to be completely honest. I did not know that this existed. I had absolutely no idea that this was real. But it is, and it is probably the most bizarre thing that I have ever seen. I have seen weird third-party controllers. I've seen unique control schemes. I've seen all kinds, but this is probably the most cursed thing I've ever seen in my life. I get what they were going for. You know, we have to commend the idea. Okay, let's do a standard controller scheme with the Nintendo 64 controller. That makes sense. There's some logic here, but like, man, is this kind of cursed. Okay, so you would hold the controller like this. Sure, it still has the same terrible stick design. They couldn't upgrade that to be a little bit better. But yeah, so you would hold it like this. I don't know how it would work under here. So you have your trigger button, you have your Z, just one, because that's Nintendo 64 way. But I don't know. Do I use this finger? Do I use my middle finger? Or do I use my? Cause like this right with my middle finger on the trigger here. This feels really weird. I feel like my ring finger doesn't really sit under here very well. It's just very odd. Like this really, I think the biggest issue with this, honestly, is the little Z button. Because they're like, oh, this is. I honestly, I don't even know when this came out. This is like a first kind of look at this thing. All right, a little bit of backstory, I guess. I found this. Well, I didn't find this actually. My friend found this at a place called Mystery Bins, which essentially is a place where like secondhand or wholesale kind of items just kind of go to die. It's literally, okay, they'll take like a department store or something and rent out a floor of it, an old department store that's probably closed in a mall or a standalone location, whatever. Totally fill it with literally bins with random garbage. Sometimes there's like bigger stuff too. A lot of appliances, things like that, like open box returned things, anything like that. And this was in one of the bins, and he got it for $2 for me. The funny thing is, he said that there were two controllers in this box, and he said, oh, they were third-party Nintendo 64 controllers, and it was like $2. And I'm like, okay, sure. And so what I saw and what he saw was this. This is kind of those generic third-party N64 controllers. Like, it looks like an N64 controller. It's just kind of a little bit cheaper. And I needed a fourth one, so, whatever. But then there was this thing. He thought there were only two. There were two of just the regular style ones. But no, there was one of these. And at first, I was like, oh, that kind of stinks. I didn't really need a fifth controller. But, like, now I don't even know what to think. Because this is the most bizarre thing. It does actually, I didn't even think about this until literally this moment, but it does actually have the expansion slot on the back, which is weird. I can't imagine that anybody would do too much with this. But I know that Super Pad was a thing. I'm pretty sure they made Super Nintendo, maybe GameCube. I honestly don't know. Maybe they made Sega Genesis stuff as well. Yeah, it's just one of those weird. This was during the era of weird third-party controllers, where you didn't really need more than two controllers, so you had to, as a third-party manufacturer, you kind of had to stand out. Other than the N64, I guess, because this one did actually have four, but your PS1, Sega Saturn, even Sega Dreamcast. Actually, no, Dreamcast did have four controllers, but Sega Saturn, Sega Genesis, even a little bit in the earlier 90s, and the PlayStation, of course. Those were two controller ports. So if you were going to make a third-party controller, you either need it to be a lot cheaper and be a replica of the standard one, or you had to make it weird. And SuperPad tended to make weird things. So this is what I mean, I get it. Because this was the number one complaint with the N64 controller was, oh, why is the stick in the middle? Why are there three prongs? This you technically get a regular control scheme out of. Kind of. Oh my god, this is so weird. It's just so weird. I have no idea if this even works. All the buttons are accounted for, technically, in their grotesque form. But they are all here. The stick is equal, actually probably worse than the official one, which is really, really saying something. And that's pretty much it with this guy. Maybe someday I will actually give this thing a try and try to play a game with it. That might be kind of fun. I'm not going to subject myself to that kind of masochism right now because we can't tell from the way my voice sounds. I'm a little stuffed up, I'm a little sick. I'm a little sick of looking at this. But yeah, that's pretty much this thing. I don't have a ton to say about it, but it's just so bizarre. And ever since I got it, I was like, I need to make a video on this because I have to share this with the world. It is too weird for me to, hoard. I bet this is the only one in existence or something weird. There's gonna be some crazy thing where it's oh, this is the only one in existence because it was so bizarre and weird that they canceled it and this one made it out. I'm sure there's plenty of them out there, but I've never seen one before. I've seen plenty of third-party N64 controllers, but this is just such a bizarre design, and it doesn't even it feels terrible in the hand. Really, really feels terrible. So anyway, that's it. I'm done rambling. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, I don't really know what the next video will be, but I'll see you guys then.